Nasser, thanks for joining us. We're more than 2 weeks into the World Cup. Do you think it's been worth it for Qatar after all the scrutiny, the protests, particularly even in Paris, where you are a lot of the time with screenings being cancelled?
Listen, I mean, I'm as Qatari coming from Qatar, from Doha. I'm so proud, honestly, what my country, my people, my leadership doing for the country, for the World Cup itself. It's amazing. I'm so proud, so happy. I mean, I cannot be more happy than this. And of course, we saw outside, and let's say in Europe, some of the countries, let's say, and some of the media, some of the journalists, let's say, some of the politicians.
And there have been politicians who've taken a stand, maybe politicians from countries that do big trade deals still with Qatar, British sports minister who wore a rainbow armband, but then you've got the British Prime Minister saying hats off to Qatar.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not a politician and I don't want to enter into politics and I don't understand anything in politics and I don't want to understand. But one thing, the politicians, if they want to use the sport to promote themselves, to achieve something in their agenda, they will not succeed, definitely, because sport is sport. It's nothing to do with politics. And that's what we're doing here in Qatar, is just sport and football. So all the politicians tried to use this for their own agenda. All of them failed.
But for Qatar, sport is also a means of projecting power, isn't it? Some of the investments that you're overseeing, the World Cup itself.
Listen, the sport in Qatar, I believe, how I see it myself. I was a tennis player. Thanks God, the government invested me as a human being to be athlete. And today I'm here, where I am, what I'm doing for my country. So the government's, of course, invested in sport, education, health. That's the infrastructure. So proud of our leadership and our country, I mean, if you can see, yesterday I was going from stadium to stadium and, look all the infrastructure that we have. Trust me, there's not so many, and even in Europe like here in Doha. So proud, I mean, I'm being very humble, but we have to be proud today and say it loudly that we are proud of our country and we've been done for the World Cup and before the World Cup.
You spend a lot of time in Europe, your businesses are in Europe. Do you think Europeans do have a right to take a stand on morality issues and human rights?
If we want to mix again football with politics, then it's gonna be a mess. I think people, again, using it for their own agenda is not better for the human being and for people. I think we are, as Qatari people, I think we are good people. Trust me, and I'm sure of it because I know our people, I know our leaderships, and they are best people in the world that can say it again proudly. And that's not fair, what's been people using, and some of the media also using this against our people and against Qatar. We are not the best, but trust me, we are much better than a lot of people and much better relation. We are, as Qatari people, we have this human rights law inside us. It's our DNA, our culture. We don't need any law to tell us what we do, what we don't do, And that's what sometimes hurt me really. That's saying, there's this numbers, fake numbers coming from some of the media about, labors and all this stuff. It hurt me so much because my people, they are very good people, trust me. They are very open heart, and you see it here. They're very friendly. Our religion, by the way, don't allow us to do these things. It's against religion. All of us the same. We need to treat, people exactly the same. That's what's more than law. It's religion. So I cannot understand all this, rumor and media and agenda and politicians using it just for their own agenda. I will not let it. Honestly, first time I'm going to talk about it because I had enough of it.
Why are you looking to sort of sell stakes in Paris Saint-Germain? Are you potentially maybe looking to sell the club completely?
I will correct you here, Rob. We're not willing to sell, or we don't ask to sell. People approach us. So when approach, we need to look at all the opportunity, right? So we're looking at the opportunity. Why not? To have strategic investors at the club. Fantastic. Why not?
You've had a lot of friction with Saudi Arabia. the Public Investment Fund has been linked with potentially buying a stake in Paris Saint-Germain. Is that something you would be willing to accept?
Listen, this is not true. Absolutely not true in Paris Saint-Germain. And listen, I mean, thank God that again the relation is better, and that's what we're willing. Well, that's what we want to achieve, to have great relation with everybody. We want to have peace with everybody. That's what Qatar about. That's our leadership, policy. That to have, peace with everybody.
But Saudi Arabia is still blocking some of the be-in signals of the World Cup.
You go ask them better, Rob.
Have you had an answer why?
I didn't have any answer.
You're obviously sort of preparing for the second half of the season. It's hard to get away from things like the transfer window. Cristiano Ronaldo is now a free agent. You have the chance to be able to unite Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi in the same club team for the first time.
Cristiano, I admire Cristiano big time. Legend, one of the best player ever in the history of football. But I think for us it's really difficult for the moment, with the three players that we have, it's very difficult. But I wish him all the best. He's fantastic and he's still an amazing player.
Obviously, you've got Lionel Messi, whose contract runs out at the end of the season. Do you think you will get to keep him, or is he ready for a new challenge?
I said it before. I'm going to say the same thing. I'm not going to change my mind. We agreed together to talk after the World Cup, see what's going to happen, what he wants to do, what we want to do, the plan, and all the stuff. So we'll talk. So there's no decision from him or from our side.
Next week, we're due to get the non-binding ruling from the Advocate General over the Super League case. We're going to hear from the European Court of Justice next week on the Super League case. Are you concerned that they might rule in favour of the Super League clubs?
Before to answer this question, here in Padel, playing with all the legends, ex-players, all of them, I asked them, all of them against us. I asked the fans, presidents, managers, everybody. So this is, to answer your question, this is not a legal contract, it's a social contract. And I said it before, the fans will never let it happen. The clubs will never let it happen, whatever happened in the decision. So I'm not really worried about the decision. Even I think, they will vote in our favor, that against it. But if not, it will not change anything.
How will you fight that though, if they say actually anyone can set up a competition?
Nobody will going to join them. Nobody will join them. Nobody will go to the stadium, fans. Nobody will organize anything. You see, in UK, there's a law you cannot do it. An example, the English clubs, French, German, who are they going to play? 3 of them? Fantastic, fantastic Super League.
There's no law in England though yet to stop it.
Yeah, but, I remember your ex-prime minister said that they will not give visa, they will not give entrance and all the stuff. So there is really, hard push from the government, and it will be for everybody. The damage will be in whole football. It's not just a national team and youth, everything. People, they don't think they're just Super League. Now they said we're going to open a little bit. That's just fake. Just a trick. And we know their attention, so it will never happen.
You think you've definitely killed off the Super League?
Yeah, definitely, it's gone.
And Juventus seen their entire board go?
So I think, that's, thank you for your question. I think, I would love to ask the new management to join again, the ACA, to join the family. I hope there will be smarter people there, and would love to invite them to come back to the family. That's what we want, And I think, John Elkin, he's very smart, very nice guy. I know him, and I'm gonna have a chat with him. I'll talk to him, to invite him to come and just forget this stupid plan.
You've still got the rogue elements. You've still got Barcelona and Real Madrid pursuing this Super League.
But my question is, by the way, we respect the fans, the institute of the clubs, but management, what they want, honestly. They're playing Champions League, so why they playing Champions League if they don't want? If they really criticizing Champions League, let's leave Champions League, go play by yourself, play in your domestic, go do a Super Cup between 3 of you. Why are you playing the Champions League if you are? If I don't like something, I say I don't like it, and I'm not gonna do it. They said, yeah, the worst and celebrating when they win. which they deserve it, by the way. I'm not criticizing, it's nothing personal between, me or them, or, just the world of football. Why? I mean, I honestly, from here, first time, I want to invite them to come back. Just stop your crazy idea. I mean, just be back and let's talk and be part of the family. It's fantastic. Champions League, I mean, but if they don't want, they continue. I don't mind, but let them go play by themselves.
If the court ruling said actually it was a European monopoly, if the court ruling said it was a UEFA monopoly running the Champions League, UEFA might not be able to run the Champions League anymore. Does that mean you as the clubs would have to get together and form a new entity to run the Champions League?
Today we have the joint venture with UEFA. So it's not UEFA, so we have, shares and percentage in the joint venture. So we're doing it together with UEFA. They are the regular body, of course, but we're doing it with them today. So I do understand that saying monopoly, and it's just their kind of, lobbying and their PR, and which it's the most stupid PR I saw in my life, honestly.
Because obviously there are more games in the Champions League from 2024. There are 8 games per team in the group stage. It's a lot of games.
There's a lot of games for sure, but that's also what we want to achieve, also to play more matches high level.
You built up a lot of experience now in sport. You've been running Paris Saint-Germain. You're now head of the European Club Association. Do you have bigger ambitions maybe to be UEFA or FIFA president one day?
Not at all, trust me. Even, by the way, even the ACA, I promise you, I was not willing to do it even, I've been refusing it, as you know. But I'm very proud to be ACA chairman, definitely, to have all amazing clubs, together and bring them united. That was fantastic role, but I don't have any ambition there at all. Zero.